There are other kinds of light that are not so comforting. The piercing beams of headlights on a large truck in your rearview mirror late at night. For Pastor and for his wife, the hellish glow of the sky while it's on fire. And a streak of lightning that's crashing to the ground. These types of light create anxiety and fear. But it's all light. That narrow, visible electromagnetic spectrum of waves that we humans can see. It resides between the bands of ultraviolet and infrared energy. I've always loved light. The magic changing colors of sun as it sinks in the west. We're constantly getting phone calls from my mother-in-law saying, "Go out back and look, nice sunset." So we were constantly trading on this magnificent palette that appears every evening. I also like the ways that artists such as Vermeer and Rembrandt use light to bring life and feeling to their paintings. As a child, one of the first things I realized about Christmas was that everything took on a magical sparkle. The lights, the decorations, and then all the excitement. I remember lying under the Christmas tree and looking up through the branches at the lights and the ornaments. Anybody else do that? Say, I got a hand back here. Good. I'm not the only one. When I was little, we had the old series light bulbs. You remember those? Okay. And if one of the bulbs went out on the string, you had to get a good bulb and then go around and try and find out which one was a dud, right? This was my first introduction to electricity. I stuck my finger in one of those sockets to try and figure out what made the light bulb go on. Needless to say, that was, you only do it once. I even had Christmas lights hung in my bedroom, hanging on the walls, kind of like an over-the-top night light. Once a day glow, always a day glow, so what can I say? A while back in our Sunday school class, we were doing a topic on physics and faith. We talked about light and how light can be refracted, bent, or it can be reflected. This morning, I'd like you to consider whether you refract or reflect the light of Jesus. Debbie will tell you that I'm not a morning person. Getting up in the dark is a real challenge for me. I like to wake up as the sun is just starting to peek through the windows. A natural alarm clock, not some buzzing and mechanical awakening. But that slow recognition behind closed eyes that the sun is starting to come up and it's time to get out of bed. That's my kind of alarm clock. The other morning, the clock radio went off at 5 a.m. with a lovely trumpet concerto by Haydn. Lovely, yes, but not at 5 a.m. For me, the joy of the morning is to savor the changing light as it works its magic on the awakening world. There's nothing finer than a walk in a garden in the cool of the morning as the sun dances off the dew and the shadows fade away. I like to think of, that's kind of the way I can get behind what Isaiah is saying here in the first verses of chapter 60. He says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come." Literally, get up, get moving, the sun is up. Maybe we should spell that S-O-N. A month ago, we took Nikki up to the Griffith Park Observatory, and she just finished a study on the planets. And I thought this would be a good way to give her an opportunity to see the new museums up there, the new light show, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's well worth the trip. And one of the exhibits they had is a timeline of what happened after the Big Bang. I wish I'd brought my Bible with me. The story of creation, the forming of the planets, the beginning of the oceans and landmass was done in such a way that as you walked the display hall, every day of creation just dropped right out of what the exhibit showed. And all you had to do was just put in the words and they were there. Now in this exhibit, the scientists have theorized that within a couple of nanoseconds after the Big Bang, there was a tremendous amount of light. Now this should be no surprise for those of us who've read Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. The first aspect of creation is light.